The USA's 1992 basketball Olympic dream team was larger than life. But what if I told you that the team, which included Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Patrick Ewing, Scottie Pippen, Charles Barkley, the list goes on, they actually lost to a practice squad of college basketball players. Now that historic upset is the subject of a new HBO documentary called We Beat the Dream Team. Take a look.
And I remember we go up to the top, like this balcony, to look over the practice session. The most competitive practice session you'll ever see.
Here to tell us all about it is former NBA All-Star, Olympic gold medalist, Mr. Allan Houston. So glad to have you here.
Good to see you, man.
Hey, in full disclosure to everybody, so Allan is family, but I am still going to ask you some very difficult questions, all right? I have one I've saved for you coming up at the end.
I'm sure.
But first, let's just talk about, because we've never discussed the rule change for 1992 Summer Olympics, how in the past, leading up to that year, they would have college students who would participate. You're in Tennessee, you likely would have been on that Olympic team, but because of this change, they decide they're going to have these pro players go on there, including, as we just talked about, the likes of Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan. And so you don't get to play, but you get to play against them just to help them prep.
Yeah.
So how were you feeling? Was it a little crestfallen that you were feeling?
No, I mean, I think once, when they announced that the 92 team would be the team of the greatest players ever assembled, I think for as college players, we were like, okay, let's just focus on being a pro. And so, but when we got there and we got to experience it, I think a lot of the conversation was, hey man, like, could this have been us? So
you guys win, and now I'm gonna get to that in a little bit, but theoretically you do beat the dream team, greatest basketball team ever assembled. Did you go in thinking that that was even a possibility?
Well, I think what happened was when we were there for 3 days, we got ready, had some great coaches, George Raveling, Roy Williams, and the team themselves. And then when we got there, and you saw at the beginning, we were up on this balcony, and it was like the gladiators, right? You go into this, and you saw them practicing, and you see all the things that you saw them do prior. When we get out there, I think they planned on, you know, organizing the practice in such a way, and then Chuck Daly says, let's scrimmage, let's go. Obviously, we didn't know how it was going to be against them, but as a competitor, you're going out there to compete. We kind of left the awe, I think, once we left that balcony. We went downstairs, and when you step on the court, you're like, all right, it's showtime, and now we're just going to see what happens.
What did you all learn in that downtime that you had with these larger-than-life players? And meanwhile, they're talking a lot of junk to you in the very beginning. We see that in the documentary, Larry Bird, kind of, you know, hey, get some rest. But you all in your own right, Penny Hardaway, Jamal Mashburn, Grant Hill, you go on to become legendary on various NBA teams.
And you see these interactions and how they live their life. All you see is just like them on the stage, you know, under the spotlights. You don't get to see who they are as normal people. And that's what I enjoyed, is kind of spending those times. And you know, they gave us their shoes, and you know, now you put them in your trophy case, you know, and Patrick gave me his shoes, and then when I signed with the Knicks,
you end up playing with him.
When I signed with the Knicks, I was like, Patrick, I still got those shoes you gave me from the Dream Team, you know, and so that, to me, that mentorship that we got in that quick moment really showed us not just how to be on the court, but off the court.
All right, here's my hard question.
Okay.
So I wasn't expecting this, but Chuck Daly, who was the coach of the Dream Team, Coach K says he threw the game. Do you believe that, or did you all really win?
Nobody believes that. And I talked to Grant about that, and it was good. I think, okay, so I'm a coach's son, so I can kind of think about what I think is being interpreted, right? To me, once the snowball happened, I think what happened was Chuck was like, look, we're getting our butt kicked, so I'm gonna let this go. Like, there was no timeouts, there was none of that. But we can't assume that the greatest competitors ever were gonna just sit back and say, well, this is good, we're gonna let this happen. No, you're competitors. It just happened so quick that there was nothing they could do at that point, at that time, as evident the next day. Right, next day, it was a different story. They locked in, but in that moment, look, time told the story.
And 30 seconds left, just tell us about Fizzle. We see it on your clothes there.
Faith, integrity, sacrifice, leadership, legacy. You know, it's a life coaching platform for youth. My father and I are passionate about youth. So we just want to continue to spread that message. We have licensed apparel. We have a media platform that we're launching. But thank you for allowing me to talk about it. But it's everything. It's all the principles of life that I've learned throughout this path and that I want to pass on to my family and those who I've been able to touch.
So fun. This is the first time we've ever worked together like this.
Wild.
Really,
it happened so fast.
Blessing to be able to have you on the show tonight, Allan. Thank you.
Proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of you. We Beat the Dream Team, currently available to stream on Max.